is Kaymind. I'm a PUBG esports player for Cloud9. I've been playing PUBG since it's come out on Steam. And with a lot of training, I went from an unsigned team to a top-tier org, and together we were able to win the first place at the 2018 Hong Kong World Invitational and the 2018 PUBG Fall Invitational. And today, I'm going to share 4 tips and tricks on how to make you a better PUBG player. Before the explosion of Battle Royale games, there was PlayerUnknown's Battleground, aka PUBG, the first official Battle Royale game. Since its official launch in 2017, the game has drawn in over 400 million players, making it harder and harder to get that chicken dinner. That, however, doesn't mean you can't improve your playstyle to help go up the ranks and become a better player. If you manage to fine-tune your abilities, there's no doubt in my mind that you'll be able to elevate yourself as a more strategic, advanced, and better PUBG player. Here are my 4 tips to improve your play. First, I would personalize my sensitivity settings. It's very important before you even start playing to find out what sensitivity is right for you. So keep in mind that I'm using 400 DPI right now, which is the multiplier that you can have on your whatever software you're using. I'm using 400 here. So first, I would make sure my vertical sensitivity multiplier is at 1. What this does is that it's going to make it equal. If you pull up like this or pull up left and right, it's going to be the same sense exactly. So some people like to put this at like 1.25 or something to have a little easier time control recoil since it's a vertical multiplier. It's easier to control recoil that way, but I highly recommend keeping it to 1. What I do with general sensitivity to find the proper sense is I just find something where I'm comfortable doing a 180, which is a quick swipe like that. A lot of people are wondering what targeting sense is. It's pretty simple. It just tightens up the crosshair a little bit and makes you more accurate. So for me, if I use targeting sense with my general sense, it's a little too high, so I turn it down to 40 instead of 45. So whenever I press my aim key, it's going to lower down my sense a little bit. With this iron sight sensitivity here is whenever you ADS or use a red dot or holo sight, everything that doesn't have a zoom to it, that's what iron sensitivity is. With scopes, I use different scope sense for everything pretty much. So 2x, I use 35 as well, same one as iron sight. Same with the 3x. Pretty much what you want to do whenever you test the sensitivity, and make sure you can accurately aim with it, like quickly acquire someone's face, for example. So like with this sense, I feel like it can be pretty accurate. As a second tip, I would say you only have 2 weapon slots, so make the most out of it, know what weapons is right for what situation. Before you jump into a match, I try out the training mode. It's going to get you the opportunity to get a feel for each weapons and know how it works. Personally, my AR of choice is the M416. In my opinion, it's not the easiest to handle, but if you get the hang of it, the high fire makes it one of the best AR in the game in terms of damage per second. It's a great all-around weapon from close range to medium range spraying to long range tapping. The SCAR L and the AK-47s are good alternatives to the M416. I feel like they have easier recoil control and still put out a lot of damage. Just keep in mind that someone using an M16 or a barrel close range will most likely beat you if you both start shooting at the same time. I would not recommend using the barrel, although it is the highest damage per second. It has a really unpredictable side recoil, which makes it hard to use for medium range spraying. Treat the barrel like it's an SMG. So I've noticed a lot of newer players fall into the trap of using a UMP as a main weapon, because it is an easy weapon to use, really easy recoil. It's not a bad choice, but the DPS is so low that you won't stand a chance against a more seasoned player using an AR. I think the only viable SMGs are probably the Uzi and the Vector. They have really high DPS, so you'll stand a chance against an AR, but overall, I'll stay away from SMG. I'll stick to AR and DMR or sniper. For sniper rifle, use the bolt-action sniper in solos. A one-shot kill weapon is preferred when you have nobody to revive you. If you die, you die. You don't go down. But in squads, I'd recommend a DMR since you can put a lot more damage on several moving targets. Personally, the Mini is my favorite of the AMRs because of the fast bullet travel time. So as my next tip, when jumping into a solo match, I would say drop into a medium populated cities like Pachinki, find a few early kills, gear up, and then look for a car. I wouldn't recommend a bike or a dune buggy. You want to find something that's going to provide you hard cover as you drive through open areas. That way you can quickly spot enemies and make a decision about how to handle any encounter. If you don't have a car available, I would say keep your back to something, try to minimize the amount of people that can see you or ambush you. Not giving me a single peek now. Sometimes what you can do is just punch out a window, make them think you're bolting out. But you're actually just baiting the peek pretty much. Nice little trick. It's working surprisingly well. Towards the end of the game, I wouldn't camp in the same spot unless you have a 360 cover. No matter how protected you think you are, if you can't see everything around you, it's really easy for somebody to sneak up on you. An alternative option is wrap around the circle and kill the edges. Keep your eyes on the rocks and trees and on the ground because most people just sit behind or prone waiting. The more you move, the harder it is to flank you. The more you move, the more information you get, and it's easier to know where the remaining people are. Okay, so I got the same guy knocked. The other guy should be lit if it was rezzing. Don't sprint too much. There we go. So as my last tips, I would say analyze each death. So as a player looking to improve, analyzing each death in a match is a good way to learn from your mistakes and find new ways to handle different combat situations. Little detail that I noticed here. It's really small, but trust me, it happened to me several times. Is when I went around the wall over here. So it's really close, this wall to this wall, but if somebody's cross-walking on this wall, you won't hear them. So they could have potentially be someone here, just waiting, chilling, And over here, look at me, I'm full sprint. And not only I'm full sprint, but I'm also gonna jump. If I jump over here and somebody's over here and hears me jumping or hear me sprinting towards him and he peeks, I have literally nothing to do. Like I'm midair, I can't shoot, but it's really inaccurate. So if you think that there's potentially someone that's about to peek you, don't vault, don't jump, don't do anything that's gonna prevent you from shooting back. To sum it up, I would say 1, customize your sensitivity, find something comfortable that fits your playstyle. 2, keep in mind AR is the best choice for your automatic weapon. I prefer to use the M416 personally. 3, when jumping, go for a medium-sized city, gear up, get a few kills, and then find a car. 4th, whenever you die, try to think about what went wrong and how you can improve it. So if you guys want more tips or ask more questions, check me out on Twitch at Kaymind. Happy hunting, I'll see you guys on the battleground. Yeehaw.